Capital One Men's Slam Dunk Championship rules. There are 8 competitors. You just saw them. Judging based on 10-point scale. The maximum score, because we have 6 judges, is 60 per dunk. No penalty if you miss one, but you have to get a dunk made in a half minute. First round, 2 dunks. Scores are average. Top 4 advance. Then we go to the semifinals. In the final, 1 dunk. Half the field will be eliminated in each round. Let's meet our judges. This guy is a hero in this city and all over the state of Indiana. Bobby Plump made the game-winning shot for 1954 Milan High School championship team. If you've ever seen Hoosiers, Marquette head coach Tom Crean. That's Mike Doss, defensive back of the Indianapolis Colts, former Ohio State All-American. There's one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL, Cato June. Here's a guy from Iowa who'll take your head off. Had a little problem with his shoulder right now. That's Bobby Sanders. And Brad Black, Capital One Slam Dunk Sweepstakes winners, our other judge. Those are the 6 guys that'll be going 1 through 10. You're not going to see a lot of 1s, but you're going to see a lot, probably, of 7 or better. So here we go. Capital One dunk competition. This is Vince Greer out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's kind of a slasher. Jimmy, you and I got a chance to see him, and I know, Lav, you saw him a lot during the regular season. We saw him in the NIT.
Unbelievable vertical hops.
Vince Greer off the feed from Justin Gray, but he's still got plenty of time. Got 15 seconds left. Up and in with a left hand for Vince Greer. Now they got a little dance move going on, too.
He missed 6 games this year with that broken left hand, but ended up with almost as many made free throws as field goals on the year. That's a sign of a guy that can explode around that rim.
So the judges show their cards. The fans do likewise. And here's Vince Greer, 6'5", and can really get up.
Excellent score. Not an outstanding shooter, but a good enough shooter that you have to play him honest. But it's his ability to put it on the deck, to slash, as we see his post-dunk celebration. I think those are more well-rehearsed than the dunks themselves.
Yeah, that's what Justin Gray of Wake Forest. First one, 50.5 for Vincent Greer.
Kid that could be a second-round pick in that draft this summer.
Here's Lawrence Wright, 6'4", from Bradley. 44-inch vertical. He says, nobody believes I got a 44-inch vertical. Well, some people might, including probably his head coach, Jim Les. This was warming up before the NCAA tournament. Went over his coach and threw it down. Let's see if he can do something like that tonight.
Got the long wingspan as well. Stretch Armstrong style, able to extend on his flushes.
Calls Beale Air Force Base in California his home base, if you will, or hometown. Goes up and throws it down.
Ooh, there's that 7-foot wingspan, Lav, you're talking about. Told us yesterday his dad is a master sergeant in the U.S. Air Force, and he said even I don't know where he's at. He's in an undisclosed location overseas. Making his dad proud, though, from a distance, huh?
You got that right. If Dad gets a tape of this thing, off the backboard and down. He's going to be up well over 50. Look at the flashes going off in the crowd. Let's see how they scored it. 53.5.
It's got to be some.
Judges might be tough. This might tell us something about the judges. Cameron Bennerman out of North Carolina State was kind of a late addition. And we asked him yesterday, what are you going to do? He said, I'm not sure yet. I'll figure it out later. He's clearing everybody out of the way on the baseline, though.
Well, Herbie Sendek runs that Princeton-style spread court offense, so he's been practicing passing and cutting and ball handling. Yeah. No time to work on.
Oh,
nice.
That was nice.
He cupped the ball back and throws it home.
Good job, Cameron.
34-inch vertical for a 6'4" athlete. Also will play in that NABC All-Star game this weekend, Brad.
Most of the judges, I think, gave him a 9 as you take a look at the baseline and the throwdown.
Took off like a long jumper here in track and field.
Whoa.
For a hook dunk.
Eyes getting close to rim level, huh?
And because of his height, they might give him more props than you think. 56, that puts him right now in first place. Now David Noel from North Carolina. And he's got some pretty good flashy dunks in his breakaway arsenal, including the old windmill job. And you can talk all you want about the young Tar Heels and how good they were. I think if this guy wasn't on Roy Williams' teams this year, they would have never been nearly as good. He showed the leadership all the way.
You know what I like about him, Brad? This is a guy obviously with pro aspirations, but as a senior, he was a team guy all year for Roy Williams, and Roy just went on and on about him at the ACC tournament with you and I.
Yep. He's moving our camera cables, so let's see what he's got from the baseline. Throws up, throws down. Whoa!
That might be that chocolate thunder backward slamma-jamma thing he was talking about.
That's what
yesterday.
He called it. That's right.
It.
I forgot about that.
Chocolate thunder backward slamma-jamma by David Noel.
Well, here we go. This is the first Noel.
A nice inbounds play, huh? On the baseline.
Whoa.
The pass is tough to make from that angle.
You talk about having an assist and a rim rattler all on your own, and then a little dance to follow.
I like
David
the windmill.
Noel.
The windmill follow through.
He just sent a message to Rodney Carney, didn't he?
I think he might have had a perfect score. They haven't shown it officially, but the judges were flashing 10s. David Noel, round 1, 60. Can't do any better than that. So they just get better as we go. Greer at 50.5, Wright 53.5. Vennerman went 56, and Noel, his arch rival from Chapel Hill, perfect 60. Yet to come, though. Second group of dunkers. James White of Cincinnati, Rodney Carney of Memphis. They're two that are two of the favorites, but can they outdo Noel? We'll find out. Stick around. Don't miss a big night of NBA action Friday on ESPN and ESPN HD. The coverage tips off with Kia's NBA shoot-around. That is Paul Gasol and the Grizzlies taking on Chris Paul and the Hornets, followed by Kobe and the Lakers against the Sonics. It's all tomorrow night. In Indianapolis, Hinkle Fieldhouse still alive. Capital One Men's Slam Dunk Championship. This is still first round action, and we move into our next group of dunkers. And James White of Cincinnati is set to take flight. And it's not James' first county fair, nor is it his first dunk competition. He competed in high school in the dunk competition at the McDonald's All-American game. This was 5 years ago. He was Maryland's High School Player of the Year, went to Hargrave Military Academy, went to Florida, and then transferred to Cincinnati, where he scored over 1,000 points as a Bearcats. James White, the closest thing to flight. They used to call him Flight 75. Now it's just plain flight. And he's going way back by the baseline on the other end already.
Looking very Jordan-esque with that Bearcat colors, similar to the Bulls.
Here he goes from the free throw line. Whoa, he mistimed it. Now he's going to have to hustle. Got to run back. Oh, maybe he just faked everybody out on that one. Now he's going to go with something easier. No, he's running out of time. James, you're my favorite, don't you know? You got 5 seconds left to at least make one here. Oh, that'll help. That'll help.
Steve, you've been around a lot of great athletes as a coach. As an athlete, that guy's a pro athlete. I'm telling you, isn't he?
Well, his length at both ends of the floor can be a factor because he can stretch out defensively. Difficult to see over as we see here.
And that is eye level with the rim.
I think he's in the mid-50s just by judging from what I can see. Whoa,
Swinging
of the
ball.
judges.
Yep,
what a great look.
One side of the body to the other.
David Noel's going, wow. Well, David has the only perfect score so far in the first round. How about James? His score, 54.5. Puts him at third. So he's behind Noel and Bennerman. Now it's Maurice Ager. Here's a guy you saw a ton during the course of the regular season, lad. Yep,
Michigan State obviously had a disappointing first round exit, but Maurice Ager improved his game over the course of his career.
Ager 6'5", spins and got it. And at 360.
With such ease.
Tom Izzo looking on with his family. He's not voting. Isn't voting. But the judges are.
And Brad Ager, a kid that probably learned something last year at this competition during the Final Four. He and the rest of the Spartans came in and watched it, if I remember.
Yeah, they did. They all came in their green sweats. I remember that, too.
What's amazing here is how easy he makes this look. That is a tough, acrobatic, prince of midair move.
Ager's first round score, 54. Puts him in fourth place, so the judges weren't as impressed maybe as we were. And now, Elgrace Wilborn is on a cell phone. He's doing a Joe Horn thing here. He didn't pull it out of the basket support, did he?
Terrell Owens. Pre-scripted.
Started his career at Tennessee, transferred to Western Kentucky, and he is a high major athlete.
He can find the handle.
Can't dribble too well, but he's a high major athlete.
We know he can dunk.
Got to bring the ball handling skills with you.
Whoa! Wow. You talk about in flight and hang time. I don't know who he was calling, but call the family. That might be a good one.
Wow! Once he got the dribbling down, he was in business. Hello, Sports Center.
Remember,
my name is L. Grace Wilborn.
He's wearing his old teammate's jersey. Whoa! His head and neck were way above the rim. Another look. He's got his teammate on his tattoo and the back of his jersey. In memory of. Whoa. His head coach is trying to keep cool about it. Let's get the scores.
If it's not a 60, something's wrong.
Wow. Still don't have the score officially. There it is. Tied with David Noel with a 60. So Rodney Carney is warming up, and his head coach is with Aaron Andrews.
All right, Brad, thanks so much. Well, Coach, after James White dunked, you said to me, you guys have no idea about Rodney Carney. But what about Al Grace Wilborn? What do we got to say now?
That was pretty good. But you got to watch this, Aaron. This young man, I've never seen an athlete like him. I just asked him, what are you going to do? He said, I have no idea. I'm just going to go do it.
What in your mind when you saw him perform? I mean, when you first saw him perform and you said, I don't believe what kind of athlete I have, what did he do?
Well, first of all, you see him as an athlete, but he can really shoot. Then you sit down and meet with him, and he's a wonderful kid, a really bright kid. I'm like, this can't be true. We're getting a kid this late. And we were very, very fortunate.
Best dunk you've ever seen him do?
Some reverse spins. I can't even, out his arm. And I mean,
Coach, get it done.
He'll do a couple. You watch him.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much.
All right, so Rodney Carney, who's an Indianapolis native, said it. The thing I need to work on is my ball handling at the next level. That's what he plans to work on. Well, he's got everything else working for him. State high jump champion as a senior in high school, went almost 7 feet. So let's see if his coach is right. And let's see if he can stay with Al Grace Wilborn and David Noel, who right now have been perfect in their 2 dunks.
I think this kid is a lottery pick waiting to happen.
Carney. Whoa! You talk about making something look easy. His confident coach looks on. Marvelous season that they had.
Hometown favorite here, playing it safe.
Northwest High School. He went to high school just down the street from where we are right now.
I know it's in slow motion, but how quickly he gets up off the floor. Very impressive.
So as we look at Carney's first attempts, as he glides in and hammers it home, we wait on the score. 56, which puts him tied for third. Al Grace Wilborn is maybe the sleeper in all of this. And he's with Aaron Andrews.
All right, first of all, Joe Horn, Al Grace, where's the phone?
It's right here now. It's right here.
All right, who are you talking to?
I was calling my man, he's from another school. He gave me some pointers while I went out there and did my thing, and he gave me something good, so I'm glad I nailed it.
What kind of gimmick, gadget do we have for the next round?
It's something sick right now. I'm just winging it right now, so we'll see what turns up.
All right, not getting any hits. Don't even want to know what your cell phone minutes are, by the way, guys. Brad?
Okay. Big smile for El Grace. He's one of our co-leaders after the first round. He and David Noel with 60s. Carney and Bennerman had 56. And you see the rest after dunk number 1. Still a lot of dunks yet to come. You don't want to go away. If round 1 is any indication, like David Noel's, they're only going to get better. Wilborn, airborne. Round 1's done. Round 2 is coming up.
Look at this dunk between the legs. I've never seen that.
Oh yes. It's over. Good night. That's going to be a 50. That's going to be a 50. Are you serious?
It's over. It's over.
Hello. All right. Good night. Hello. He's dancing.
That's why we didn't invite Dick Vitale back. It took him 3 months to get his voice back. We continue the first round. Second dunk of the first round here. The Capital One Dunk Championship from Hinkle Fieldhouse. And here's how it looked after the first dunk. Wilborn and Noel were perfect. Carney at a 56, as did Bennerman. James White of Cincinnati, 54.5. Ager at a 54. Lawrence Wright, a 53.5, and Vincent Greer, 50.5. So now you know who you're looking up at. Vince Greer getting ready for his second dunk, and he knows he's got to make up some serious ground because he is currently in 8th place of the 8 performers. First team All Big Ten performer a year ago. And then this year, as Jimmy said earlier, had some injury problems with his thumb, missed the first 5 games of the season, then went in double figures for about 4 games, and then missed another. And as good as he is, I think the competition is better, fellas. You got to get creative now at this point, or you'll never make it to the next round.
Got to pull out all the stops. The creative juices have to be in full effect. Went with the straight-on dry Melba toast with authority, but not a lot of flavor in this
Easy
dunk.
for us to say, right?
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy and I were out trying last night. Jimmy almost blew out his ACL. We had to go home early.
The only thing you guys were dunking were donuts. I'll tell you that much.
Just not enough zip right there for Mr. Greer, but a terrific athlete.
And I think he got the same score as he got the first round, or pretty close to it. And indeed he did. 50.5. Both rounds for Vince Greer, Minnesota.
You know, not only is Vincent Greer an excellent scorer, slasher, finisher at the rim, but I think has a chance, Jimmy, to be an excellent defender at the next level.
Yeah, big time. The scouts I talked to kind of project him right now as a second-round guy, but because he can attack and be a blanket defender, that guy's got quite a future.
Here's Lawrence Wright out of Bradley. Went 53.5 with his first jump. He has long jumped almost 49 feet in the past. His mom was a long-distance runner. Missed it, but he's still got time to retrieve it if somebody gives him a little help on the ball. He said he thinks he got the spring in his legs from his mama, who did all that running. Oh, and he missed twice, and now he's going to have to really scramble. The ref's going to give him a little help. Down to the final seconds, going to have to hurry. And he goes up and makes sure as he puts the hand in all the way to his elbow.
The old chicken wing dunk.
What a year they had, though, huh, Bradley? Losing to Memphis in the Sweet 16. This kid was a big part of it coming off the bench. Explosive.
He had 14 in that last game as he dunks all the way through to the elbow, but probably not going to be enough. Only in the 40s. 45.5. So his overall is under 50, and that puts him in 8th place. Here's Cameron Bennerman, who I think kind of surprised everybody with the first dunk of 56. And he's going to get a little help from Justin Gray, so the ACC guys are helping each other out. Wake Forest and the Wolfpack. Justin with the feed off the side of the backboard. Tell you what, the assist was almost as good as the dunk.
Like the teamwork.
Yeah, I do too.
Not sure if it's enough to get over the hump.
Well, that is not easy to make that pass off the side of the backboard and have it bounce right where Bennerman can pick it up and go to attack, huh?
Yeah, we'll give Justin Gray a 10.
I think so.
Pass.
Yeah.
Bennerman, 54.5, I believe, is what they're going to officially put up on Cameron in his second dunk of the night. And it is, so 55.3 is his average so far. David Noel, he threw down the lob from the baseline to himself, the reverse chocolate slammer. What'd you call that thing, Jimmy?
He said yesterday the chocolate thunder backwards slamma-jamma, and we saw it in the opening round.
Well, I hope he didn't use everything up on the first one, because that one was sensational. A 60 in the first round. Here he comes. This is actually just the next round of dunks. Everybody gets a second look here. Whoa. Well, give him 2 points. All right. He got that off the clock. Off the clock again, and this time he rattles it home. It's hard just to hit the clock through the cables that are holding it up and not have it go in a stray direction.
Ties the dolly into the act to finish it off.
Wow.
Terrell Owens, the pom-poms.
Boy, what an athlete he is. North Carolina, Duke, Michigan, Tennessee all wanted this kid out of high school as a wide receiver in football.
We got to give him some credit for tying in the dollies. The Colt cheerleaders in the house. That's heads up.
There he did. And then went over to the pom-poms.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
That's taking advantage of your opportunities is what that is.
That was his first attempt. That one went through for 2. Now he's going to have 4 points on this possession at least.
Pulling
right
all
between
your
the
resources.
cables.
All your resources.
How about the score, though? There's the celebration. So he's done Joe Horn and he's done Terrell Owens. And let's go with Aaron.
All right, David. Well, we're assuming that first dunk you had was the Chocolate Thunder, backward slamma, jamma, mamma, whatever. But what's this one called with the pom-poms you did?
That's the T.O. special. I just want to give a shout out to my man T.O. For doing the pom-pom thing. I just wanted to copy him a little bit.
All right. Where would you grade? We know we've got professionals here for the slam dunk, but how would you grade his pom-pom spectacular?
I give him a 10. That was amazing.
And I'm sure he would give you a 10. Let's share the pom-poms. Come on, guys.
Well, I'll give her a high 9. All right.
What a tandem those two are.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Here's James White. His second dunk after being in 5th place, now 54.5. This was my favorite coming in. But Flight's going to have to come up with something special just to get back in the hunt, I think. Here he goes from the free throw line. Got it! Whoa! Bring down the house. Flight White and a little after dance. I think that might put him in the hunt.
Well, he dunked for the first time when he was 12 years old, so he's had a lot of practice time at it.
Everybody's standing in here. If he doesn't get a 60, there's going to be a riot.
Oh, he's getting an embrace from all the dollies. Look at,
whoa,
takes it to the shoulder blades.
He is so fast, first of all.
He pumps this ball back to the shoulder blades and finishes it with the flush.
That should be a 60, including the dance. We'll give him a 61. James White, Flight is with Aaron.
Certainly is. I'm at the end of the line with the girls here, guys. But where does that compare to the one that you did with your McDonald's All-American from the free throw line?
Man, my first dunk, I messed up a little bit, so I just want to do something, get in the second round. It's on now. I'm going to do something to blow everybody's mind away now. So I got something nobody's ever seen before, so I'm just going to bring it out.
Well, stay tuned. I don't know a better tease than that, guys.
Yeah, really. I don't have to say anything else. There you go, James. 57.5 right now is his average after throwing down a 60 from the charity stripe. Maurice Ager had a 54 in round 1. Second team All Big Ten performer. Michigan State, of course, lost in the first round to a team that's in the Final Four, George Mason, but not because this guy didn't do his best. He had 27 in the game. He's going right up under the rim, through the net. He's going to try to throw it up, go get it, and throw it back, I think, guys. There it is, and there, whoop, he came up short.
You know, he said that Drew Neitzel, his little point guard, is the guy that showed him how to do this. Neitzel can't execute it, but he comes up with the ideas.
Uh-oh, he's got one more chance. And this always has something in the mind of the judges. He's going to make sure goes with a reverse jam because he was running out of time. So that's going to get a lot of 8s from the judges, but that might not be good enough to get him to the next round. If you try something like that and it doesn't work the first time, if you do it perfect the second time, you're in pretty good shape. But after that, the judges are thinking, okay, it's just not going to work.
3 strikes, you're out.
Yep. And then he went to just a regular, what am I talking about? Reverse two-handed slam, which is only worth about 44, I think, is what they gave him in that round, and it is. So 49 is his average.
If I know Tom Izzo like I think I do, he'll probably make Ager stay in practice after we're through. You know
He's
what I'm saying?
He's got to get up in the morning early.
He's running some suicides here at Hinkle midnight.
L. Grace Wilborn got on the phone before his first dunk, told Aaron he was talking to one of his buddies who was giving him some instruction. And then after he threw down a 60, he got back on the phone. I don't know if he called the same guy or not, but we'll find out. Second dunk for the 6'8", L. Grace Wilborn out of Western Kentucky.
Dunking in memory of his former teammate, Danny Rumpf. That's why he has his name on his back right now.
Went between the legs with the left hand. That's getting a lot of 10 love from most of the crowd, and it's getting some 10s from some of the judges, too, from what I can see.
Some of these dunks are executed with such ease it works against you because they appear less spectacular than they really are. But when you watch them in slow-mo, are you kidding me?
He just touches the ball. He doesn't bring it between his legs, but still almost hit his forehead on the rim. David Noel always looks shocked. David's had some great dunks already.
A little perplexed.
So El Grace
is amazing grace so far.
You got that right.
Wow.
58, so he's got 59 for an average. And unless somebody does something amazing, he should get to the next round. Rodney Carney, this was your favorite, guys. He needs a 55 or better just to advance.
He is a Richard Jefferson type athlete at the next level, in my opinion. And he needs a big one right here.
His brother's here, his sister's here, his brother-in-law here, his grandpa Chester's here. Whoa, look out. Well, he made it. Some of the family and friends looking on that he slipped on landing. That's like when you get one of those rocky touchdowns after you've been flying for about 3 hours in a plane.
Again, his quickness off the ground, I think, is the best in this competition. And he just, boom, when he wants to explode now, he's at the rim in a heartbeat.
And he did go all the way between the legs and got it through the legs with the left hand, jammed with the right. Is it good enough? Needed 55 or better. Rodney. Yes, he did. 59. So 57 and a half. Now it's coming down to the guy that hit 60s for a couple of guys, 3 guys so far. Here's how it looks. Wilborn is the sleeper and the leader. Carney, 57 and a half. White, 57-3. David Noel, 56. Betterman, Greer, Wright, and Ager bring up the back of those top 8. So the semifinals are coming up. How can they get much better? David Noel, James White, El Grace, and Carney. The Women's NCAA Championship presented by Orbitz is down to the Final Four in Boston. First ACC rivals get together. The Terps handed the Tar Heels their only defeat of the season. They meet again. Then it's Simone Augustus and LSU against Monique Curry and Duke. It's all Sunday on ESPN and ESPN HD. Just down the street from downtown Indianapolis, we're at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Semifinals of the Capital One Slam Dunk Championship coming up. This historic building that was opened in 1928. And it was made famous by this guy, Bobby Plump. Made the game-winning shot in the 1954 high school championship game. It was Milan High School against Muncie Central. Clock running down. Bobby Plump with 18 seconds to go. They call a timeout. Bobby, pull-up jumper, 15, got it. 32-30. That was the final. He told Jimmy and I before the game he screwed up the last play. He was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to get the inbounds pass. He's the guy that threw the inbound pass.
Yeah, the coach said, are we all on the same page here? They said yes and went out, and he stepped out of bounds for the basketball, but they did the right thing and got it back in the hands of their best shooter, didn't they?
Oh, boy, and he's still a hero around here. People taking pictures, getting autographs with Bobby before the game. He's got an establishment about 10 minutes from here called, of course, Plump's Last Shot.
I'll tell you what, fellas, too. The state championship in Indiana, fans around the country don't fully understand. To give you an example, John Wooden said he would trade 3 of his national championship banners for one state title because that was the only missing piece from his resume.
And we're in that building that's been around for about 8 decades. Here's David Noel. Had a 60 in the first round. Whoa! Whoa! Wow. I like this. Yeah!
There we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Pulled out the Baryshnikov.
Well, that was Olympic-style dunking.
Talk about an athlete again. That's why everyone wanted this kid as a wide receiver coming out of high school in football.
I'd still maybe take him as a wide receiver. Watch this. Handspring, back flip, get the feed, and boom.
Wow, Roy Williams has been holding him back all these years.
Right.
Gets a little freedom. He's breaking out, baby.
Oh, my. What a job. He's with Aaron Andrews.
Well, guys, we saw the pom-poms. We saw the flipping, the round-off. How would you grade your form on that?
Man, I don't know. I couldn't think of nothing to do, so I had to just pull something out there. So hopefully it worked to get me to the final round.
Oh, come on. You didn't think of that before? You didn't plan that?
Oh, no. As soon as when they was like, you got 1 minute left, I walked back there and was like, man, let's do something dumb, man. I told Vince I was going to throw in the ball and do a flip. He got me, gave me a great pass.
I don't know if I buy this, guys. Let's just pull a cartwheel round-off back handspring out of nowhere. David Noel, thanks.
Thank you.
This time a year ago, he was still playing. He was the only returning Tar Heel that even scored in last year's championship game, and he scored pretty well there. 57.5. That's James White, 57.3. And he's going all the way back to the baseline on the other end again. This is what got him back in the hunt when he took off from the free throw line. He said he has to do something more crazy. I don't know what it could be. Whoa! He missed the one-hand windmill from the stripe, but he still got time.
Again, you're looking at a pro athlete. Is he a pro ball player? We'll find out, but he is a pro athlete.
Got to have this or it's over. And he got it! And the house goes up. And James gets down.
Look at the slow-mo. Popping the jersey.
Now he's signing autographs for his friends. This is his second attempt, but he had plenty of time. Oh,
wow.
Get real.
Look at the contortion. Houdini-like. Then
and with
springs
one
out
hand.
of it.
Oh.
Took off from the free throw stripe 15 feet away and gets eye level with the rim. Explosive.
Houdini.
Wow.
He got another perfect score. I think in flight, James White. It's over, he says. He told me it was over 2 weeks ago at the NIT game in Cincinnati. Maybe he's right. Got a 60s in first place.
He could be a great, underlying great defender in the NBA someday.
Will it hold up now? Here's the guy that everybody thought was the favorite coming in. And that smile looks a little tentative. This is his hometown. 6'7" Rodney Carney of Memphis. Second team All-American.
Pretty good for a kid that was ranked number 350 coming out of high school, huh?
A diamond in the rough.
Talk about missing on some guys, huh?
Either that or Calipari had him tucked away.
He's going to take off from the far corner, too.
Calipari is pretty crafty.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Carney from the stripe himself. He one-handed it, and he goes into the crowd, and now that's going to cost him valuable time. He may not get back up, and he hurt himself, I think.
Came down a little awkward, Brad.
And he's throwing it out there. He landed down there where some of the ball boys and girls are. And he will not get a score from this. So Rodney Carney's going to be out of it.
Rodney's saying it's not worth it. You're a potential top 3 pick in the NBA draft. Why risk it?
It looks like now, as you take a look, he one-handed it, and he had great flight, but he hit the front of the rim, and then he completely lost it when he went into the crowd. And again, the ball boys and girls, he landed funny before he ever hit the kids down there on the baseline.
You know, he took off, though, from outside the free throw stripe.
You don't want to hyperextend your knee or screw up an ankle at this point in your life. And so Rodney Carney is out. El Grace Wilborn, average of 59 coming in. He needs a 57.5 or better to get into the finals. Otherwise, it would be White and Noel. So we've seen him pull out a 60 in the first round and a 58 in the second dunk. And he's already cupping in that left hand. He doesn't worry about dribbling. Up, tried to throw it backwards, and now he looks up at the shot clock on the other end and knows he's got to hustle. He's down to 10 seconds back at midcourt. This one he's got to have right here. And he windmilled it, and I don't think he's going to have time for another dunk. And it looks like it might be, well, he got in the air, but he missed it anyway. And that should make it David Noel and James White into the championship round. But he gets a big round of applause because El Grace was sensational on his first 2 dunks, but just didn't have enough time to find what he wanted there. Again, I said if you missed the first one and you missed the second one, in the eyes of the judges, it's not too good anyway. And then he hit the back of the iron trying to throw that one down.
3 of the better misses you'll ever see, though.
You got that right. So there you see the scores. Carney and Wilborn both 23 and 21. Know now that those 2 guys are the ones that are going to the final round. It's going to be David Noel, and it's going to be James White. And it's James White right now that has the best score in that last round. They have showed us a lot, including backflips, assists from your friends, and then taking flight from 15. Those two guys will crown us a champion when we come back. Nothing better than Final Four weekend, including the Slam Dunk Three-Point Championship in its 18th year. From Indianapolis, side of the Final Four, everybody's had fun. Coaches, players, friends, and even the fans in the crowd that love ESPN. Capital One Slam Dunk Championship is upon us. Fellas, Brad Nessler, Steve Lavin, Jimmy Dykes, and Aaron Andrews. And it's all come down to these two gentlemen. James White of Cincinnati, David Noel of North Carolina. There's their scores in their respective first round and second dunks of the first round. Noel will go first because he had the lower score in the semifinal round. So David Noel, the senior who led the Tar Heels in all those diaper dandies, as Dick would call them, for Roy Williams this year, has come down to an opportunity to show his championship form. The high feed to himself. Can he pull it down and in? Nope, he missed it. And again, psychologically, you start to wonder, can I throw it perfect in time for the second one? Goes up and throws it through one-handed and sideways.
Boy, good timing. That's hand-eye coordination. Precision.
We wait on the scores.
When that toss is so difficult to pull off, to place that ball right out in front of the rim like he does. He goes and gets it and sends it home, huh?
Look at how far away he had to go get it with the right hand just to throw it in. That was a little wider than he probably had planned on.
We've seen the backward slamma-jamma out of him, the barn door flip, now the alley-oop to himself.
And he's going to get a 55.5 out of this one. So now James White knows what he needs. David Noel, North Carolina, 55.5. By the way, at the beginning of the show, Jimmy Dykes took Steve Novak of Marquette to win the men's three-pointer. He did. Steve Lavin took Lindsey Bowen of Michigan State to win the women's three-pointer. She did. Somebody took this guy to win the slam dunk.
Had to work it in there, didn't you?
Well,
nice
we'll see
call.
what happens.
No, nice
Are you patting
call,
yourself
Mr.
on the
Ness.
back? Are you patting yourself on the back a little bit?
I was there when James White said, Mr. Nessler, put it in the book. I'm going to win the slam dunk competition, and he's on his way to maybe doing it right here.
Let's see if he can. Whoa, slows down, fakes everybody out, looks back, and now just to run the length of the court, he's going to have to make this. James White in flight. Oh, and he missed it, though. He went between the legs. Now he's going to have to hustle just to get there. White, final chance, and he missed. And that means David Noel's going to win it. Well, the misses will cost you. And consistency sometimes brings home the gold. David Noel of North Carolina, Capital One, slam dunk champion.
National champion last year and slam dunk champion this year for David Noel.
Impressive with the variety of what David Noel brought to the table with his dunks.
Well, a great
strength.
kid out of Durham, North Carolina. Beat North Carolina on senior night in Durham. One of his greatest moments probably as a Tar Heel with his mom and dad looking on, David and Sheila. And now they're happy because their baby boy is the slam dunk champion. James White, that probably cost him right there because that took him 10 seconds to run that far. Then he missed one trying to go between the legs and then just trying in the final seconds to put one between his legs from the wing. And he couldn't pull it off either.
The hat trick.
And David Noel said, whoop, I think I won. And he did. And he's with Aaron.
All right, well, this belongs to you, Mr. Tar here. David Noel, the very last time you wear Carolina blue, what went into your thought process for that dunk there?
For the most part, I was just trying to make one. Just get something real high and throw it down real hard. It didn't go in exactly like I wanted to, but I got lucky. Some great dunkers missed some great dunks, and God was blessing me on this one.
James White, of course, the favorite, a lot of the guys were saying, in this slam dunk competition. When you saw him having some problems there, what was going through your mind?
I was like, just keep missing. But I was trying to cheer him on at the same time because he's a great dunker, and I expected him to win this thing too. And when he told me what he was going to do, I was like, oh, it's over if he make it. But like I said, God was blessing me. He didn't make that dunk, and I came out with a trophy.
Out of all the dunks you did tonight, what was your favorite?
Probably the backwards flip thing. I thought that was pretty creative. I thought I should have got 60 on that, but I didn't.
Calling out the judges, I thought you'd go for the pom-poms. I'm a former dancer. It was a good job.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I tried to like my little TO special. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. David Noel, your slam dunk champion. Brad?
All right, well, he thought that should have been a 60, but you know what? He didn't need the 60 on the back handspring and back flip before he went into the semifinals and then the finals. David Noel, maybe a little bit of a surprise, but the 6'6" senior who will graduate in May in communications. Tonight he communicated that he can get up and throw down. 2006 slam dunk champ from Chapel Hill, David Noel. Congratulations.